Hey, this is Bruno from House of Falcone. I am here with Vee Venture. I want to tell the story about how scared I was to talk to you.
Okay.
No, I'm
Yeah.
the one. No, I'm joking.
No, I love that because I actually get this a lot.
Do you?
And it's good because even I've been reflecting from a business networking perspective since you having that conversation with me. It's because I'm a real extrovert with what I do for work. But then when I come to an event like this where I'm not in my element, I'm introverted.
Okay.
So it's like, it's because I'm nervous, probably on the inside and not putting myself out there. But then obviously after you saw me on stage, and that changes how many people approached me after. And yeah, it made a big difference. So I've been reflecting on you saying that to me, how I come across.
Well, I think, like we in LA, you went on stage in front of like 2,000 people. It was great seeing your interview. I think, like everybody saw how professional, how well-spoken, they saw that the entrepreneur part of you, like they saw how incredible you're doing, and then in such a industry that it's so uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please tell me a little bit? So what was the idea behind it? So when you started all, how did you reflect on it and say, I can help people in this industry, and I know I can make a big difference?
Yeah, so going back to, I never expected that I would even enter the industry myself.
Okay.
It was through like really uncertain times, like COVID, life shifting. I was working as a nutritionist, and that industry during COVID, no one was spending money in it. So it was kind of me returning to uni and being able to step into dancing on the side and work weekends and still obviously support my daughter. So it was like something that I never would have ever envisioned for myself, had never even walked into a strip club in my entire life. To then just working 6 nights a week for 4 years straight. And in that time, I set myself up, like I made millions, and I really thought a lot about making that money work for me. So I never had a plan to mentor other dancers or anything like that. But I think it was like the natural progression where I was, like it never fulfilled my soul, like doing that kind of work, but it was like the means to an end to make money and to build my dreams. And I had a lot of dancers in the club that was like my home club just start to come up to me and be like, I want to work with you. Can you train me? I'll pay you. And my initial reaction was just like, no, I didn't feel like I was good enough to teach. And it's because I guess, a lot of people go through this where I think it's like that imposter syndrome, maybe in the beginning, but then it's like, but I'm also not where I want to be. But that goalpost does constantly move. And I think it was through also then seeing I do get a lot of successful clients come through the club. And I was talking to someone from the Steel Blue, they like do the steel cap boots, and they brought their whole team over from America. And I would always be really curious in bookings like this. I was like, what made you successful? How did you start out? How did you build your business? And I would kind of like use the strip club as like a way that I would learn from other really successful people that were coming through the doors. And the guy said to me, the day that I stopped trading my time for money, I became really successful. And I was like, I'm literally sitting here trading my time for money with him right now in that conversation. And for a lot of women in the industry, when they stop working, you don't make any money. There's no holiday pay or anything like that. So I think it was a lot of things that then added up. It was like those moments clicking for me. It was women coming up to me and then being like, I can definitely teach a girl to go from here to here where I was at, because I was at the top of my industry, but I was not where I wanted to be. And I think it was like that gap. It's like, no, but I'm not trying to teach women to get to here. It's like from here to here, I know that. So it was like simplifying that. I started working with girls in person, and then that went really well. They were getting incredible results. So that's where like the rumors just sort of like spread. And I had girls starting to like fly in from other cities to then work with me. And then I was like, hey, this is still not scalable. Maybe I was doubling down on my time, but I was still trading time for money. And then I built it into an online platform, and kind of from there, it's just been growing and progressing. And I never really envisioned what it would be today in such a short period of time. How many women
it's now we're talking like
just
couple
over
years,
a year,
or?
just over. It's not quite 2 years. It's just over a year and a bit. And yeah, the company scaled to 7 figures. And
Incredible.
But more importantly, the girls, the results that it got for them, millions. Like the amount of money that the girls made. One thing I always wanted was like always give more value than you take. So while the business is still very successful and that is important to me, I feel like the value of what I've been able to see, like within the women, it's like making more money, but even more importantly than that, the women they actually need to become on this journey and to dream and to have goals for their future. It's like that is actually the rewarding
Yeah, one of the things I noticed is, especially when you were talking about, there was obviously there's a economical reward. Like you have these girls like reaching the levels that the finance level that they want to reach. But then you were talking about how a lot of these girls they fall into the life and they're not enjoying it, or like they fall into the life that they circumstances or so how do you can you tell me a little bit about that part of it, because it's so amazing. Can you tell me how you are impacting this girl's life on the other side, like not just the financials but like the way that they live their life after that they work with you?
Yeah, so a lot of like, I have different, programs on what we offer, but like the signature program that I really launched within the 10-week program, before we even hit sales, before we even like get into like any of that side of operating like a business, it's, I start with like, what are your goals? Like, what is it that you want to achieve? And a lot of women in that industry haven't even thought about that for themselves. Like, it's like, same in business, people have very vague goals. It's like, oh, I want this and that, but it's like, no, but it's not measurable. It's not specific. When is the
seven
timeline?
figures.
Yeah. So it's just, I think it was like, okay, what are your goals? But then actually going through that process to dive deeper with them and also be like, what is success for you? Because it is different for all of us. It's not what I tell you it's going to be. It's like, what do you want your life to be? And I think I got a lot of that from just reading a lot of books.
The story behind this is that we are in LA. That's an amazing, it was a great conference. And I'm Italian, but we live in Australia. And we come from the other side of the world, and there's people from all over, yeah? Like Canada, UK.
79 countries,
right?
That we had all in this room.
It's an incredible experience because obviously there's, all of the entrepreneurs comes together and then things like this happen. So that's very good. But yeah, so you were mentioning about the course, and before even talking about money, you talk about goals.
Yeah. So really starting with the goals and like asking them what it is that they want to achieve. How long do you want to be in this industry? How do you want to exit it? And then what's next? Because I think that's really important, where a lot of women are probably focusing on the now or maybe investing with me because they potentially want to make more money. They're not really thinking about their future. And it's like, yeah, I'll help you make more money, but it's not about that. It's like, I want to help you make more money so you are actually set up and you leave this industry with something to show for it, or perhaps you want to build a business, or what are you passionate about? But it's like, so at the end of the day, you're choosing to still be in that for as long as you want, but you're not exiting just because your time is up and you do.
I think in a way there's that idea of almost like mergers and acquisitions. Like there's almost that idea of how do I exit my business and treat the time at the strip club as a business. So having a look, and you won't necessarily sell the business, but it is about exiting with the right strategy.
And the skills that they learn along the way, what I have learned in the strip club, like people skills, negotiation, sale, like all of these fundamentals that now as I'm going on to build other businesses in other areas, it's like I learned all of this from the strip club.
Right.
And just really got like that hands-on experience night after night after night.
And it's almost like that. So actually, like that part, I'm very excited about that one. So like sales, right? Like you there, you basically, this is the way that I see it, right? For you, and then you tell me how you see it. There's a want that you transform into a need. Right? I want to go in the private room. I want this, I want that, but then they want it, but they're not there yet. And then and then that want becomes a need. And then once there's a need and it's something, and then you press on it, and that's the negotiation part comes into it. And that's literally what I do as well, like within the suits, right? So like, tell me how you see it,
It's such different industries, but I do think a lot of the fundamentals apply. And a lot of what I have learned through sales has been through other industries that I then just, what has an impact in one, you can take it and put it in there and it's the same thing. So the way that I've always worked, like I was always very genuine. I always see it as like, the client that is coming in, I'm there to fulfill that need. So it's like, I think the problem is a lot of dancers go in with a take mentality. Like they obviously, everyone wants to make money, But it's like, rather than if you go in and think, how much value can I give this person? Because
Wow.
I'm not thinking about the short term. I'm not just trying to take them for everything they have and make the most money off them that night. It's like, I want to build a regular out of you. And I try to treat everyone in that way, where it's like, when there's 50 girls on the floor or 100 girls on the floor, why would you come back and see me? And it's going to be because how I make you feel. And that's different for everyone, because different people come in for different reasons. And so it's also situational awareness to be able to like read that client, be like, why are they here? You know, sometimes it is a bucks party and it's just a random fun night out. Sometimes it's a couple spicing up their relationship. Sometimes it's a married man who doesn't get affection in his relationship, and you potentially just sitting there and asking about his day, and he feels heard and seen in that. There's many different
It's
things,
incredible.
but
I mean, like
picking up on that and
Yeah.
tailoring my experience to giving them what they want. So I go in and I give. And when you give, they'll look after your bank account. Like that's just a byproduct of giving a great service.
Yeah, I think it's incredible to look at it that way, because again, like you saw a need, the person comes in, but the one thing that you mentioned that I think it is so crucial, you said it so quickly, but you said, I want to make a regular out of this person, meaning within sales, it is a customer versus the client. Customer buys one day, client is forever, right? And a lot of businesses, I feel like they miss that idea. They're always looking for the new sale, the new client, and that takes a lot of effort versus
It's a lot of
take
energy.
care, right?
Yeah.
Take care of the ones that you have, and you know, like, and double down on bringing them back, because then something that it's maybe quite I want to say even like half to a quarter of the effort to have someone coming back.
Yeah.
Right. The one thing I wanted to talk about. So, you know, we spoke about the fact that, you know, you went into this world, but you had that business mindset. Like you thought, you started working on yourself. You started working on your own goals, and then you realized that you can really change these girls' lives in the club. And then we talk about how you had this idea of helping the girls, but also like understanding the basics of business, which is really what matters.
Yeah.
Right. What is gonna be your next year or next 2 years looking like?
It's very crazy because my life progresses and changes so quickly. Like, I'm someone that I think, like, I move at a fast pace. And I mean, it's really great because then we're probably going to see each other a year, you know, at the next event. And I'll probably do nothing like what I have planned. It's like I have all these goals and I have this vision, but it's like I really do have that speed of implementation, and I take the opportunities when they're there. So I have just launched with a business partner of mine, a wholesale hair extension company. So a lot of my focus this year is going to go into that. But yeah, so that's been in the works for a very long time, and we only just launched before I came here. So I want to put a lot of energy into building that business. I'm still going to focus a lot on the mentoring, but I'm changing it a lot moving into the new year, just because I have my own businesses. I still want to have a really positive impact on the industry. I want to give everything that's helped me. I really want to do like very similar models to how we train, where we go in for, you know, live coaching a couple of times a year. And then I want to give like digital products, online courses, and be like, in between, this is everything. And they have that level of accountability themselves. I'm AIing, like using AI to automate a lot of the business, the social media. Yeah, it's to transition the business to be able to operate a little bit more, I think, with AI, so that I can focus on the important parts and the networking and the building, giving my time to the girls, and then, focus on my other business.
Isn't it interesting that now that you've been so successful about taking care of yourself, then you were so successful about having this mentoring group, right? And now as an entrepreneur, it sounds like, you know, whatever you touch, whatever you would start, you have a shortcut, because it's like you can really do anything. I would say, like, you picked the hair extension direction, but I'm sure there will be like a million different projects in the next few years. I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned AI, automations, and socials. Can you tell me how you achieved, like, in your own words, like how did you achieve such success on Instagram. And you know, for a lot of entrepreneurs out there, like it's one of those things that you know, a lot of people that they say, "Oh, just post, like be like regular." But what worked for you? Like, what was if you can identify one or two things that...
So I definitely want to give you this, but then it's like, what I need to highlight is what worked for me then to grow my following doesn't work today. So I think what is so important is you need to constantly evolve because platforms are changing, algorithms are changing. What helped me back then stopped working, and I'm having to always learn and pivot. So it's like, if you want to grow on social media, it's doubling down on what is your weaknesses and constantly looking into what's out, what's working, testing, trialing, and reflecting. So back when I started in the industry, it was being really personal on my Instagram stories. So for me, what started as like a dancer profile, essentially, I started touring and doing like a lot of modeling shoots. So the front end of the page is all the modeling shots from around the world. But if you watch my story, it was very authentic. It was like a glimpse into my life, where it was like, you know, me going to the gym, my hobbies, what I liked. It didn't look like a stripper account or just a modeling account. It was like an insight into my life. And I think people build that connection. And it was something I really leveraged as a dancer, because I would give out my socials to, you know, anyone that would come and see me. But it's then without having to message and communicate to everyone subconsciously, like you are at the top of mind. And they can feel a connection to you without, you know, talking to you every day. Like you can't talk to anyone that you've always danced for. So I found it was like a great way to communicate with people and keep that connection alive in between. So focusing on the connection side, which I think is still really important. I grew mine a lot from like shout outs and doing lives with other girls, which is a way that like stopped working for a while. But I used to be able to jump on with, you know, like say 4 women in different industries, different countries, or, you know, different clubs. And we would just all jump on and we'd just talk or we'd pick a topic. And then, so now all of our followers would and we would exchange.
They'll see each other. Wow.
Yeah, I would sometimes jump off and it'd be like, okay, I've got 2,000 new followers, this and that. And it's like, I would be literally going to work, come back, it'd be 3 a.m. and we'd all message in the chat and be like, let's jump on the lives, let's jump on the lives. And I was just jumping on lives like 24/7. So that was to grow the Instagram. But then that stopped working. Cool. I feel like Instagram just, I don't know what happened with it. And then there were a lot of bot accounts, and then Instagram kind of fixed that. And so then, but there was no structure behind what I was posting in that sense. So for a long time, I haven't actually focused on my personal brand Instagram. I think if you look at the last time I posted, it was quite a while ago. But then if you look at the Venturous, which is in my bio, so that's the business mentoring account. And that one I've grown, it's not as big as the other one, but I've still grown that in the year. And very, very different. I'm having to learn about hooks, persuasive writing, like call to actions. And it's just like, I never had that type of structure. And now I'm looking at running my social media like a business that runs on AI automation that is like, I am guiding people to the outcome that I want.
Yeah.
So very different to how I grew my personal brand.
Yes.
Just jumping on and being authentic. And while that's amazing, I don't think that really works if you want to grow to scale or you want to grow for a business. So I think, it'd be better to look at the Venturous if you're trying to look at it from a business point of view. Like,
I mean, like within entrepreneurials' lives, you have the business account, but you have the personal account. You know, people follow people over businesses, right? There's a lot of entrepreneurs out there, me included, having trouble showing like every single time in the day, right? So a lot of my content, for example, like I do TikToks, and you know, like I do like, you know, the music, the outfits, the looks, I'll do the cuts, whatever. But it is yet to go out there a post where I'm literally just talking to the camera and say, hey everyone, I'm going to LA, like I'll be speaking on stage, be in front of 2,000 people. Like I don't do that. How do you get what worked for you in getting over the fear of showing that vulnerability?
The first few times I filmed videos to get on social media, I think I sat there for like 6 hours filming myself, messing up every single word. And then at the end, just be, I don't want to do this. Like I literally was like, I'm not made to be a coach. I don't want to do this. I can't talk on camera. I can't articulate myself the way that I want to. And it was really, really uncomfortable. I'd watch the videos back. I thought I was cringe. And then it was the next day, it was like showing up again. I was like, okay, that was a little bit easier. Instead of taking 6 hours, it took me 4. And this is to probably post a 1 minute video. I'm not even kidding. And you're never going to feel ready. And it was like, now that when I look back on my old content, you can scroll back and you can see it, especially on the ventures where I've started talking. I look at it and I go,
that's the one that when you started talking to the camera?
Yeah, so that's when I started talking to the camera on that one. And you can scroll back, you can see all those early videos. And I thought about deleting them. I was like, no, because I want people to see the progression of my journey. And I look back on them now.
I want to do it.
And people now see I'm really confident on camera. But rewind to that, even if you look at the personal brand, I've done photo shoots all around the world. The first time they pulled out a camera 5 years ago when I was in the club, I would hide every time. I was so camera shy. I was not outspoken. It's like, you'll get better by just doing it. Was it uncomfortable? Yes. Was I nervous every time? Yes. But it's like, just do it. And as you're doing it, you'll get better and learn. So it's like, I think when it's uncomfortable or, you want to post a video, it's being conscious of like, okay, I'm in LA. Like right now, you should pick up your phone right now. Let's do this.
We'll
and be
do
like, we're doing a podcast. We're in LA. And it's like doing that in the moment.
Yeah.
Actually do it. Let's do it.
Jesus.
No, we're going to do it because this is what it is, right? It's when it's uncomfortable and there's no right time.
All right, let's do it.
So we're going to do this.
Let's do it. I do it for other people and then I don't do it for myself.
You do it.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm here with Vee Venture. We are quite literally in the middle of a podcast. We met in Australia, but now we are in America, in LA. Vee did an amazing job on stage, 2,000 people, and everyone was so charmed. How was your experience on stage?
I was incredible. I mean, I was nervous, not going to lie. I don't think anyone could tell, but it's just an experience that, I mean, you guys are going to have to listen to the podcast to get the full episode, but it's like a huge weight off my shoulders to be able to share what I do in an industry and be so accepted by a bunch of,
And then on top of it, like as entrepreneurs, all we do, we'll literally come to like a random spot in the hotel. There's lots of people just like walking past while we're doing the podcast. And what I like about you is that you say, yes, that was really cool.
Yep.
We'll see you soon. All right.
And see, I love that. And after that, it's posting that. Now,
So
will that be the best video you ever make?
That's going to just stay in the camera roll.
No, you have to post it. And see, this is what it is, right? It's that speed of implementation.
Yeah.
Because as you work, like you go back and it's like, say you post content for 30 days. Because the more that you procrastinate, you're going to overthink it and then you're not going to do it. So it's like, post it. But then I say in 30 days, I look back and I look at my views. I look what's working, not working, what topics. And it's like, I think that's when you find your flow.
Your tune, your flow. I like it.
I'm constantly still trying to find mine. It's never I mean, it's only now I'm learning new things with content. It's like a hook. I never made any hook with any of my things. And it's like learning that element and then the persuasive, I haven't even gotten into that yet, but I'm learning about that. It's like you'll just learn as you go and it never feels perfect.
I love it.
So
then you talked about personal brand and business, the business brand.
Yeah.
Right? The one thing that a lot of people, how important is it to have a personal brand? And what was the impact on your business having a good personal brand?
I think it's a bit hard because I was almost the opposite, where with my business was kind of from my story. So I had trouble actually separating the business from my personal. So probably the opposite to kind of almost what like a lot of people where they go the other way.
Yeah.
So because the business was built upon my story, which was really personal. So me jumping on and connecting and sharing my story, I felt I made the business brand very personal. And it was actually a mentor who said to me, I want to see the clients. I want to see their results. And it's like, I would love to share them all day, but they don't want me to share. They're very private. They're very personal. And learning to motivate and inspire them to want to share their results to help others, I think then had an even better impact on the business because it was like, it's one thing to show me share my story, and that does motivate and inspire a lot of women, but then to show it can happen for her in this country, in this club, and this. And as an industry, how as a whole, that can really inspire so many. So yeah, the challenge for me was to separate my personal side from the business, still be heavily involved in it, but to share more of that. So yeah, I don't know if I have the right advice to give someone.
I think when I went on socials and I saw, what you do, and then the public speaking, I feel like, and like the rooms, we're in the same rooms. That's why like we connected, and I feel like as we're speaking, like I can see we share our values, and I love that. I love that. I'm not terrified anymore. But yeah, so what I was gonna say is that even if you think that there isn't a personal brand behind you, I think now I feel like there's a very strong one. I think being interviewed LA in front of a massive audience, and you articulate it so well, I think that's a testament of how far you've come, and that is personal brand. You you are part of an taboo industry, and then you were able to come across as a extremely professional woman, and that one again is testament that there is a personal brand.
Yeah.
So when I see personal brand, I see what you do, and I see in terms of like what you do with other entrepreneurs, and then I see your image, how you speak, how people see you. Actually, personal brand is about how other people see you when you're not in the room. So, and I feel like you do have such a strong personal brand. What was in your opinion, because obviously like you had to curate your wardrobe before coming to the conference. So how important was for you to present yourself in a certain way? What's the power behind introducing yourself to the world with a powerful presentation?
Yeah, I do think presentation is really important, because whether people are like it or not, before you have even had a conversation with someone will look at you and judge instantly, and in rooms like this. So I think to be taken professionally, like I've always really enjoyed wearing a suit. I had a different suit every Al Falcone suit. I'll probably buy the next one. But it's like I really like to dress and feel professional, but and then it's the same as when I go into the strip club. I have a look that I go in with there, but it's like in my home life or when I'm a mum, it's like I'm in my Lululemon gym clothes with my Nike slides, and they're the comfiest shoes, and like I have all the designer and I have all of that, and it's like that's where I can just be myself. But it's like time and a place. Like I'm very comfortable with who I am, but I think it's extremely important if you're trying to make a great impression, if you're trying to network with people, build how people are going to perceive you. And it's like, you were scared to obviously come up to me, so I maybe have to work on that a little bit, but but I think you want people to take you seriously when you want to do business. And I think dressing the part does, make a big difference.
I think I grew up in Italy. So for us, I don't want to say common knowledge, but like they tell you ever since you're little, right? They tell you there's a time and place. They tell you that it's important to show people who you are. And it's very interesting because somebody mentioned that somebody mentioned that instead of dress to impress, dress to express. I don't know if you caught that.
I did catch that. As soon as that came up, I wrote that down.
Dress to express.
Dress to express.
I think
Birdman?
Yeah, I think so.
I could be wrong. I don't know. There was so many incredible.
I think it was it was very interesting to hear. Don't dress to impress, dress to express, because it is so true. That's how I grew up. That's how my parents they told me to, depending on different occasions and situations, just dress for the occasion, right? And sometimes there's a lot of entrepreneurs that I speak to. They miss the point. I don't know. And again, I don't know if you noticed, whoever was dressed by me, it was identifiable in the conference.
Yeah.
This was the first time that I looked around and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, like, I get it. I knew that, I was doing to them what I was doing to myself, right? Like to give entrepreneurs a voice, give them the chance to be seen in a room of strangers, right? Yeah. I knew that that's what I was doing, but then...
the impact that will have on...
that's right.
It's really valuable.
But then I feel like this time around, for the first time, I kind of realized it more. Because, it's been a year and a half of like craziness. And now I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it even more so now.
That compounding effect
wow,
as well.
Incredible.
That work. Yeah.
I mean, like there was people like coming to to us and they you know like the women specifically, they told us something like, you know, I feel beautiful. It's been years that I didn't feel like this. So lots of people, like, they will say, I have comments, I have people coming up to me that will be even the reason why to talk to me. Comment, compliment. And then most people don't know that from that compliment that there's a million things that can happen.
Yep.
So you've been incredible. You say yes. And that's how things happen. Speed of implementation. The real entrepreneurs, they know that this was the time to do it. For us, it was the time. It is literally 7 a.m. and we're here.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like, I am so excited to have started this relationship with you. And I'm looking forward to see what's coming next, because I think it's going to be,
big.
a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, thank you so much for having me.
Look, you've been incredible on stage. You've been, I cannot tell you how amazing you have been in front of everyone, and the big impression, the massive first impression that you've done even on me. There's a first impression, second, a third, and you always nailed it amazingly. So it's been so good being with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That means a lot.